My mother is 92 years old. I brought her home from California about 4 years ago, and since her return, she has been in the Palolo Chinese nursing home, and then about a year and a half ago, she was released to this going home program.
Do you know why she was in the nursing home?
We put her in the nursing home because of her health. I brought her home from California because I was a working single woman, and my mother was getting older, and I wasn't able to keep up taking care of her myself. She lived with me when she was 80, and she was healthy at that point. And then by the age of 88, she just her health deteriorated, and she came home because she had this excruciating back injury that was affecting her walk. And so I brought her home so my sister, there would be more help for her. So, and when we brought her home, we had no intention of putting her in a nursing home, but at that point, she became a total invalid. And I think what happens when people lose their, when they become sick and people take care of them, they become sort of, I hate to use I don't know what term I should use better than, they let go of their need to exist. And so that's what happened to my mother. She then she kind of let herself go where she knew that there was someone there to take care of her. I mean, because of the pain and all of that, I'm not saying that she wasn't in pain, but I think the will to have to get up and take care of her own self, she just kind of gave up hope to live. She didn't wear her glasses, she didn't wear her dentures, and she didn't wear her hearing aids. And every morning she had a routine prior to that where she would get up and she would watch TV, but at that point she totally gave up. And she was taken to emergency about 3 times, and by the 4th time she was in emergency, the doctor said that she needed 24-hour care and that we needed to put her in a nursing home. And that's when they gave me several places to look for. At the social worker at Queens Hospital gave me several locations, found Palolo, which is closer to our home. And one of the options were single family homes, or we could take her home. And I said, I'd love to bring my mother home, but there's no way that we could take care of her because my sister and I have to work. It's not as if we can stay home. There's no option regarding that. And then the social worker here at the Palolo Chinese home talked about the going home program, and that's when she did her research on it.
How did you feel about bringing Hanako home?
Oh, that was a good thing. We always thought that, in fact, one of the first things that we mentioned, we did because it was such a disheartening thing to bring my mother in a nursing home, was the fact that we were kind of told that they never come home. And so one of my wishes was the fact that it would be really nice if we could bring my mother home. Not ever thinking the reverse or anything of that nature, because at that point my mother was bedridden, and they were just kind of just taking care of her at that point. And so when my mother was walking and more active, and the fact that they were offering us this, the care of going home, of accepting my mother in a nursing home at the same facilities that she was familiar with, that all worked for the family. It worked well because of the fact that my mother was comfortable with this facility already, and it really had to do with the fact that because of my mother's comfort level, it was easier for us to do all of this.
So she would be returning back to the same program during the day, yeah?
Well, it wasn't just the program, it was the fact that she was seeing the same people. A lot of the nurses they work at both the nursing care as well as the daycare center. So a lot of the nurses or the nurses' aides knew my mother. So when we would bring my mother in, my mother would already know them, so she was comfortable.